Patricia, an art seller. You sell painted artworks to corporations for investment purposes. But over the past little while, you've seen an architectural trend that's impacted on what you do and how you approach companies.
Yes, that's right. I have. I guess in the past 10 years in Sydney anyway, it's been a very interesting kind of corporate art world out there. I mean, the changes have been significant in terms of, once upon a time the corporates collected sort of very in-depth art collections where they had very prized pieces of artworks as part of their collection, and it was part of their corporate psyche to sort of have that as part of their, I guess, interior or their workspace. But lately, I'd say probably maybe the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a shift, and part of that shift is that art is still, in some cases, an integral part of an interior, but now it's less important because now I find architectural elements such as lots of windows, lots of open space. There's sort of a leaning now towards bright and cheerful, airy.
Are corporations collecting less art?
I think they are at the moment. Yes, I mean I think there are still certain corporates that love artwork, and they have, say, artworks in key areas, maybe boardrooms or in a reception area, or maybe not anymore. Plasma screens are all around everywhere. It really depends on the head of the company and their interest in it, or if they have an interest, or if they don't have interest in art. If they have a passion for art, as in visual arts, like paintings, etchings, that sort of thing, then we'll see those in the workspace. But if there is no interest from the sort of higher ups, then we can't seem to get people to put artwork in their workspaces if they don't have a personal interest in it.
And that presents challenges for people like you as art sellers. What are you doing to keep up?
Well, we do a lot of different things. We basically offer our clients the option to rent artwork, so you can actually rent artwork, visual arts, again, paintings, sculpture, etching, work on paper, watercolors, that kind of thing. And it costs a fraction of the price to rent art as opposed to purchasing straight out. So that's quite appealing and to clients. It also means that they can have, say, sort of $50,000 worth of artwork hanging on their walls, but they don't have that capital outlay, so they can rent art. But some of the other challenges are to me, and I try to get this out to my clients when I speak to them about art. There's nothing quite like the human hand, and I think you really see that in paintings. And there's something very unique and wonderful about sexy, juicy kind of fat painted artwork. I mean, and it gives an architectural space or a workspace, I think, what I call a human touch, and I try to kind of get people to sort of on my side of the team about that. So we can combine both.
So we've talked about some of the implications for you as an art seller in this trend towards designed workplaces. What about artists themselves? What are some of the implications this is having a lower demand from companies, from corporations? What effect is that having on artists?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. In my experience, it has actually pushed artists to be more, I guess, sort of well-rounded in all aspects of making art or being a career artist. In other words, you have to be good at your painting. You have to, but you also have to be good at your marketing or your presentation to the world. You just don't sort of sit in a tree house or what, a studio painting art and hope that something falls through your front door. It really forces artists, and I know a lot of artists don't like this, but they have to, I think, push themselves to be as much creative oriented as business oriented and marketing oriented as they can be. And so that's sort of a good thing, I think. It's what you get all sides of the brain firing.